All right, what's up, Dragon Brood? We've gotten more Strixhaven cards. I believe we're on day 8 of previews, so let's just hop in with Slumbering Trudge. This is X and a green for a 6/6. Okay, this has to be something interesting because that's a weird cost to power ratio. But it's a plant beast. It enters with the number of stun counters on it equal to 3 minus X. If it entered with the stun counter on it, tap it. So you can have a 1 mana 6/6, but it's just stunned for 3 turns. Or you could have like a 3 mana 6/6. Well, yeah, you could have a 3 mana 6/6 that's stunned for 1 turn. Or for 4 mana, you just get a 6/6 straight up. Like, this is fine, right? Like, here's the thing though, right? If you have a card that cares about counters being on cards or let you remove counters for some benefit, like this could actually be useful to some decks. Are we going to play this in 60 card? Like, not necessarily. Again, if the deck comes around where the counters matter or you can do something with stun counters, then okay, possibly. But realistically, I would think not. I mean, a 4 mana 6/6 is fine. And maybe if for some reason plant and beast matter, sure. But otherwise, I don't think we're gonna play this. Like, it just feels too slow for what you're getting. Like, I'm thinking like even a 3 mana 6/6 that untaps the next turn is maybe okay. And I think if we do that more often than not, it's probably good. But yeah, I don't know. This is a tough one to judge. I'm gonna say no, but might have some corner case situations. Tester of the Tangential. 1 and a blue for a 1/1 Jin Wizard with increment. So if you play something, or actually, yeah, if you just cast a spell, not an instant or sorcery. So if you just cast a spell with mana value greater than its power or toughness, it gets a +1/+1. And at the beginning of combat on your turn, you can pay X. If you do, remove X +1/+1 counters from this creature onto another creature. It's fine. I mean, it's cool that you can keep the power smalls, so you can just have this bank that's always producing +1/+1 counters. But this is probably more of a limited card than constructed. Divergent Equation. XX blue. Instant. Return up to X target instant and or sorcery cards from your graveyard to your hand. Exile Divergent Equation. Yeah, I imagine 1 or 2 of these are going to show up in control decks. I mean, realistically, even if you just pay 3, you get an instant back, sure. If you pay 5, you get 2 back, and then you're kind of off to the races. And if it's late game where you have 9, 10, 11 mana, then you're like, okay, in step, I'll just return like 3 things, and the game's basically over. But yeah, not a lot, but like I said, 1 or 2 of I think could be reasonable. Otherwise, I don't think you'll see this in too many decks, except for maybe some high mana combo-y deck, because then if you just generate 50 mana, great, I'll just get all the instants back from my graveyard and we'll just make sure I don't fizzle out. So like that's possible, but those are probably the only 2 real cases I could see for this card. Jodzi, Steward of Fate. 2 and a blue for a 2/4 human wizard. Enters prepared. When it enters, draw 2 cards, then discard 2 cards. Comes with Oracle's Gift, XX blue. Sorcery. Create X 0/0 green and blue fractal creature tokens. Then put X +1/+1 counters on them for each fractal you control. So, late in the game, you could pay 3 for a 2/4. And then, let's say you have 6 mana when you cast it. You can go ahead and make 1 fractal and put 1 counter on it. It's only prepared once, though. You don't have a way to prepare it. You have to prepare it from outside sources. So you're probably playing this if you're already playing a bunch of other fractal things. And then the Oracle's Gift is just a nice bonus to have on top of everything else. But otherwise, I don't know. I probably not. Fractalize. X and a blue. It's an instant. Until end of turn, target creature becomes a green and blue fractal with base power and toughness, each equal to X +1. Okay, so you just turn something into a 5/5. Like, say you spend 4, you turn something into a 5/5. Like, I guess this is okay. I mean, I think there's other cards that can change power and toughness on things for 1 mana or 2 mana, so I don't think you have a reason to play this. If you're already playing a Fractal deck, though, you now turn your 0/0 thing into a, say, 5/5, and it still gets the bonus from those counters. So if you're playing Fractals already, then this probably has more value. I mean, at the very least, it's base toughness +1, so you can turn your 0/0 into a 1/1 by just playing it for 0, I guess. So, like, there's that. So, yeah, if you're playing Fractals, this has more value, I think. Right, this translation is The Hungry Archaic. This is an avatar, trample and reach for either 2 green or 2 colorless mana, or some combination there, or 4 colors, I should say, or some combination thereof. Has convergence. This creature enters with a +1/+1 counter on it for each color of mana spent to cast it. So if you were to spend some number of mana for those colorless points or generic mana, then you could get it up to a larger size. And then whenever you cast a creature spell, that creature enters with an additional +1/+1 counter on it for each color of mana spent to cast it. Okay, so worst case scenario, let's say you're just playing it in green. Then you're playing a 2 mana 2/2. But then it also lets all your other creatures, even in mono green, enter the battlefield with an extra +1/+1 counter on it. But you could potentially play this in mono green with a bunch of different multi-lands that make green. So then this could be some size, and then all your other stuff could also be other size. I don't know. There's like some silly things you could do, especially with the generic mana and cost. You could just pay other things. So this is actually probably okay. I could see a few decks where this works. Also, for commander decks that are playing blue-green or white-green +1/+1 counter type decks, this is great as well, right? Because then you could just spend 2 or 3 colors on this, and then everything's entering with bonus counters, which is always good. Impractical Joke. A single red mana for a sorcery. Damage can't be prevented this turn. This deals 3 damage to up to 1 target creature or planeswalker. Yeah, this is solid. If we end up in some world where there's damage prevention that's real prevalent, or a bunch of protective stuff that, abilities that are preventing damage, then this card has a place. But it's like, cards like this usually tend to end up just being sideboard cards. Okay, this title translated is April Fool's, but I don't know if this means this card came out on April Fool's and that's the reason it's named that, because it's not real. Or it is real, and we just have a weird translation for practical joke or something. I don't know. But either way, the card is 1 and a black for a sorcery. Target opponent exiles a creature or planeswalker they control with the highest mana value among creatures and planeswalkers they control. I feel like we've seen cards like this before. Yeah, it's fine. Exile the largest thing you have, basically. Yeah, like, we'll probably see a little bit of play, but I can't expect it's going to be crazy. Especially since Strategic Betrayal exists. Granted, they can get rid of any creature, but then you also get rid of graveyards, which is kind of a bigger thing than just getting rid of the largest thing, because all your spot removal you want to play could mostly do that. So, I don't know. It's not bad, it's just not great. Social Snub. 1 black white for a sorcery. When you cast a spell while you control a creature, you can copy this spell. Each player sacrifices a creature of their choice. Each opponent loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. Wow. All right. So if you're playing a bunch of tokens, you don't really care, right? So you play this, everybody sacks 2 things, opponent loses 2 life, you gain 2 life. That's solid. I'm sure there's a spot in various aristocrats, like, I want to sacrifice my stuff to drain your opponent type decks, that this card will get played. But that's probably the one type of deck that really wants this. Environmental Scientist. 1 and a green for a 2/2 human druid. When this creature enters, you may search your library for a basic land card, reveal it, put it in your hand, then shuffle. Meh. Like, 2/2 for 2, search for a land, put it in your hand. Like, it's cool. Basic land at that. Playable, but nothing crazy. Zimones Experiment, 3 and a green. Sorcery, look at the top 5 cards of your library. You may reveal up to 2 creature and or land cards from among them. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in random order. Put all land cards revealed this way onto the battlefield tapped. And put all creatures revealed this way into your hand. Okay, so look at 5 cards. You can get 2 lands or creatures, because it says and or, up to 2. And any lands go onto the battlefield, creatures go into your hand. This is fine. I mean, we have the other card we saw yesterday, I think it was, where it's like you can sacrifice 2 lands to go get 2 lands, or go get 4 lands. So if your whole goal is to just ramp up to lands, there's other cards you can play that guarantee you hit 2 lands. Right? So I don't know where this type of card lives. Because we have like 1 and 2 mana things. Look at the top of the library. Get a creature. Out of the top so many if we want to. I'm sure there's a use for this and I'm just not thinking about what it is. But yeah, not super excited by this. Paradox Surveyor. Green, blue, and 1 split mana. So your hybrid, I should say. So you get 3 mana. For a 3/3 elf druid. It has reach. When this creature enters, look at the top 5 cards of your library. You may reveal a land card or a card with X in its mana cost from among them and put it into your hand. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. So this is likely for some version of the blue-green fractal decks or X decks. You get a 3/3 with reach, and you get to put a card into your hand. Like, this is probably fine. Like, nothing to write home about, just useful in the deck that wants it. Growth Curve, green, blue, so 2 mana for sorcery. Put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control, then double the number of +1/+1 counters on that creature. While this is at sorcery speed, this card could see some amount of play. For various reasons, right? Reusing it out of the graveyard, because you could play it, reuse it, double again. Some of your stuff has flying, like, was it Terrafractal from yesterday? So that could be really cool, turning 4 counters into 8 counters or something ridiculous and attacking with a flyer. Some of your stuff could have trample, so that could matter. Yeah, there's a lot of places I think this card could get used. It's sorcery speed limits it a bit, but getting to put a counter and then double the counters can just create so much extra damage. Geometer's Anthropod, another one that's just blue-green, for a 1/4 Fractal Crab. Whenever you cast a spell with X in its mana cost, look at the top X cards of your library, put 1 of them into your hand, and the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. Okay, so if you're really pushing the X deck thing, right, between the elf we just saw and this thing, I mean, just getting to keep putting extra cards in your hand when you're already playing other stuff is pretty good. I mean, it's hard to argue to just keep your hand fueled constantly. So yeah, maybe this has a home if that's a real deck. Stand Up for Yourself. 2 and a white. It's an instant. Destroy target creature with power 3 or greater. All right. I mean, that's fine. Like, nothing crazy. I mean, the problem is everything's going to pale in comparison to the card we saw on, day 1 or 2? That's just, like, destroy a thing and then they go look for a land. Like, but this is at least playable. Encouraging Aviator. 2 and a blue for a 2/3 bird wizard with flying. Whenever this creature attacks, it becomes prepared. It has 1 blue for just jump. Target creature gains flying till end of turn. You know, this one's kind of junky, but I don't hate it because it has like the easiest way to prepare it, right? You just attack with your flyer, and then you get to give something else flying till end of turn, but still, like, yeah, it's funny. I don't think this card's necessarily good, but it's one of the easier to use prepared creatures. So there's that. Kind of all I can really say about it. All right, well, that was a nice, easy preview day today. Don't forget, like, subscribe, do all the stuff so you can see all the other videos from preview season. But I do want to ask, is it possible that this Fractal X spell whatever thing is a real deck? Because they're giving us a lot of parts, and it's making me think maybe we could pull it off. But that's all I have for now. We'll see you next time.